Hey, I'm Tedder.
I'm Weber.
And we're Tedder and Weber. Welcome back to our first real episode post-hiatus.
Woo!
We talked about our summer recap, so y'all know what we've been up to. But I want to talk about today, just like a weekly check-in kind of thing. But I have a topic that I've kind of been wrestling with. Something happened to me. Someone said something not negative, but it affected me, and I've thought about it for a long time. So usually that means like I need to talk about it. So I've been thinking a lot about this when, we've found a lot of freedom, right?
Yes.
In writing and discussing and teaching others about comparison.
Right.
We have just like new levels of understanding of this comparative narrative. And like you said at one of our beta group sessions, that you find yourself laughing when you recognize that you're stuck in this deep comparative thought. And so what used to make you spiral now doesn't.
Yeah,
you
now I
recognize it.
spiral over different things. But yeah, I've moved on.
So we'll just have to write about something else next time.
Something else. That's probably the next topic.
No, but so I went on a vacation, and it was actually really wonderful. It was to the Destin area.
I've never been, but I heard it's gorgeous.
So the summer is very busy, but we rented a house and had a pool, and we were walking distance to the beach. So that was wonderful. But I went with one of my best friends, and probably, not like, I don't want to say one of the only people I could vacation with, because I can probably vacation with anybody. I'm pretty, even though I'm high maintenance in particular, I really am easygoing. I'm pretty easygoing. I went with my best friend, and she had just had a baby, and he's so precious. And so we had all the kids, literally we each brought a mother because we needed help, because there were so many tiny humans. There was literally, it felt like 117 children. There was 6, but it literally felt like there was a mass exodus of children from Ohio to Florida. And so, but it was fun. We had this wonderful time. Now, I will tell you that historically, my friend has been always very thin and fit. She's pretty inspirational, actually. I love you, girl. And I have looked at her and said, my gosh, she's stunning.
I have looked at her and said, oh my gosh, she's stunning. She's thin. She's beautiful.
She's beautiful. And she still looks like the same way she did in high school. And she is. She's better on the inside than she is the outside, guys. She's the real deal. And so we were in the pool I don't know, we were somewhere in the house together, and I came out. Now, you guys know me. Well, you might know me a little bit, but you know me. I don't wear, I don't have makeup on now. I don't wear makeup. I throw on some lip gloss and call it a day. I know, hate me, whatever, it's fine. I just hate makeup. I don't like the way it feels. I like the way it looks, but I just don't, I can't. And so and she's still, even though she had a baby, she's amazing. She still looks amazing. And I think we were in the pool or something. I don't know. And she just looked at me. She's like, I hate you. I love you, but I hate you. And I need you to know that. I'm sorry. I love you a lot, but I hate you. Do you understand? And I was like,
no.
I mean, I think I get what you're getting at, but I know you don't really hate me. And she's like, no, but I hate you. And I was like,
spoken like a true
best friend. Oh, yeah. For sure. Best friend. Wow. It's not like that. No. She literally, it was hard for me to hear that, because here she is. She's still probably, let's be clear, she's probably still close to 150 pounds, 200 pounds smaller than me. If I'm being honest, she's still very small comparatively. But she saw those things about me that she didn't have. I hadn't changed. She had.
So what was her reasoning for saying, I hate you?
Because she was very self-conscious about her baby weight. Mm-hmm. Because it was her third baby. She was a little older. And she's like, it's just not coming off. I feel gross. I don't feel like myself. Mind you, she's still in a bikini, and she looks freaking amazing. Sorry, I don't hate you. I love you. But she did. She had gone through this really, really big life change. Mm-hmm. And so where she may not have compared herself to me a year ago, she was 100% comparing herself to me now.
Because you didn't wear makeup.
And she didn't feel like good about herself unless she had makeup on because she was trying to compensate for her weight gain. And so that just really stuck with me. And we joked about it. I didn't take it personal, and I know she didn't intend it personal. There was no hard feelings. I hurt for her more than anything. Because, I mean, of course I've compared myself to her. She's like, you're stunning and you're wonderful. And so.
She could be a model.
Like, she kind of was back in the day.
Okay. Well,
she was a model back in the day. Yeah, it does explain. She's gorgeous. Okay.
She is.
So, but like, she probably didn't struggle so much with comparison in that one specific aspect, right? In that moment, though, it was like a blaring alarm. It was all she could see. And she was only self-conscious because she had such a big life change. And so Steph and I talk a lot about, we recognize what comparison looks like now, so we can let it go. We can laugh about it. We can, we can see it better, more clearly, da-da-da-da-da.
I want to be perfectly clear, though. We still battle it.
100%. Every day.
It's not like a once and done.
It's not. It's a resurrendering every moment. And so we had, like, my friend and I had this really good talk about, she knows, like, I've written on comparison. She watches the videos and tells me feedback.
She called us to pray for us on our little
She did.
back roads excursion.
She did, Charlotte. On the way to the conference. So, we don't have that relationship where we compare ourselves to each other because we see the beauty in each other. But in that moment where she had this big life change that she wasn't quite over yet, all she could see was what I had that she wanted, not what I didn't have that maybe that she had and I wanted. Would I want a small tummy and, a thigh gap? I don't really know if I want a thigh gap, if I'm being honest. I know, that was my chair. It was so my chair. Sure. Oh, no. We have to re-record. No. I am red and I don't get red. That was my chair. 100%.
It was her chair because when she sat down initially, I heard it make a noise. So
goodness
really
gracious.
Was, but it really.
Goodness gracious. Like watch, I probably can't even hear it, and we're like,
I know, we're like,
deal. My chair made a noise. It's fine.
It did.
It's fine. Back to comparison. So don't compare yourself to me, because obviously I don't have a problem passing gas on air, right?
Well, if you would, just own it.
I didn't. I'm a terrible liar.
It sounded.
It really did. I'm a terrible liar, but we're gonna let that go. So sorry. No,
uncut, unedited, raw.
That's our whole thing. And so now we have to leave it. It's fine. So I just thought it was really impactful that this woman who I look to as a major source of beauty and inspiration was looking at me enough to say, I hate you.
Right.
It wasn't a, man, you're beautiful just the way you are. To be fair, I didn't even pack makeup for vacation. Because it's hot and I'm not doing that.
Some of us don't have that luxury.
I understand that. And I'm blessed and I'm appreciative. Yes. She's like, your cheeks are always rosy. And I'm like, okay, I can't help that. Okay, I can't help that. That's the way God made me. But God made me that way because he knew I wouldn't take the time to make one. Let's be clear. No, but I think what stuck out to me most was that this was not an area of struggle for her prior to a huge shift in her life. And I think there's something so important to recognize that if you say that you've read the study and you've watched our videos and you feel this big sense of healing and freedom from comparison, and you love these girls because they've taught me how to let go of comparison. I threw my, if that's how you feel, great. Be there. We want you to be there. But don't be afraid to admit when something shifts in your life, you're going to have to circle back and relearn this and resurrender that voice that tells you to compare yourself to someone else. Because if you're watching this and you're comparing yourself to one of us, we get it. We'd probably watch a video of you and compare ourselves to you. But it's not healthy. And it's not the way God called us to be. So when we go through these huge life changes, a baby, a new house, a new job, like these big, a divorce, a separation, like whatever you might be going through, we have to circle back to what you know is truth. And you have to get past that point where you aren't accepting of this change because you're too stuck comparing your big change to someone else's finished product.
Good.
That was good. I made that up on the fly.
That's awesome. Write that down.
Rewind it. Let's hear it again.
Let's hear your chair again.
It's a chair.
But I think that's really important because things will change.
Yeah. Situations
change. That's going to be stressful no matter what. Whether it's a good stress or a bad stress, it's still stress. Yeah. And when you start to get stressed out about something, you do become more vulnerable because you're tired, mentally exhausted, physically exhausted, whatever. And you're never, I don't think, ever truly 100% free. You have to make the effort repeatedly. Yeah. It's just like anything else in life. I mean, if you're walking with Christ, you cannot just say, oh, I gave my life to Christ and I'm done. Yeah. It's every moment you have to make that choice, and comparison's no different. Well,
it's a sin as any other sin is, and you have to choose not to sin. You have to allow that sanctification process to kick back in when you've gone through a big life shift. Because when life is tough, it's real easy to look next door and say, they got it a lot better than I do.
Yeah, and when you look at things from a place of lack rather than a place of abundance, which I think I remember reading somewhere in the Bible about abundantly more, but, I don't know, I could be imagining it. But when we look at it from a place of lack, we're always going to look at it from a deficit instead of, oh, okay. And when you get stuck in that mindset, sometimes it's really hard to get out. And it can actually lead to a lot of, shall we say, trying times because you find yourself so trapped in that comparison. Yeah. More on that later. That's another episode.
It's a whole other episode.
Oh, yeah. But you have to be aware of it. And I think that when we are so exhausted or we're so overwhelmed or so stressed out, we don't always recognize it. So it just has to become, it's like muscle memory. If you want to do something and you want to do it well, you continually practice. Yeah. And it's the same thing with comparison. And it's so easy to get lost behind all of the life that's happening.
It's true. I think that's, the enemy's goal is to distract us long enough to feel bad about ourselves. Because when we feel bad about ourselves, we're not motivated to do kingdom work. And we're not motivated to make community connections or to be around people. And
he loves distraction. That's his favorite tool. And, when we're preoccupied with something else because we're overwhelmed by emotion rather than focusing on the promises that God has given us, then it's really hard sometimes to kind of get your mind back where it needs to be.
It is. It just takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of emotional preparedness.
I mean, you have to do a lot of introspection on, this is for me personally, I have to go in and I have to be like, okay, what have I done? Face and own the pieces that I can own. Yeah. Surrender it all. Yeah. And then try and be better and be more Christ-like. Yeah. But if I ignore it, then I can never get better.
Right. It's true. Yeah, you can only grow. What did we say on the way in? It was super good. You can only grow or hear God on what you're willing to listen to. Oh, yeah. So don't ask God to reveal something to you that you aren't willing to hear. And so...
Or that you feel ill-equipped.
To handle.
Because avalanche.
But he's here to handle it for you. And that's what I think we don't recognize. His shoulders are broad enough for my problems, your problems, her problems, their problems.
He's standing there wide-armed. You know, I don't know, is that a thing? Like arms spread.
I felt like the Creed song.
Gotcha.
That's what I heard.
And, you know, he's standing there and he's full of love and he's full of grace and he's full of mercy and he just loves us so incredibly much. And yet we're sitting here going, well, I screwed up.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want us to sit there and wallow in what we did. He wants us to recognize it, own it, and address it.
Yeah.
So when we repent, he's like, come here, baby.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting perspective from my gorgeous, stunning friend to say she hated me for something like I literally can't have any control over. And then I thought, I was able to step back and say, wow, like, that's not an area I thought she would struggle ever, you know? And it wasn't just my no makeup. Like, I'd come out in a bathing suit, and she's like, I hate you. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, you look so cute in that suit. I love that top on you. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. You look great in your suit. You know, but she didn't feel great. And I get that. Like, you know, I have a level of confidence I recognize, but that doesn't mean I'm not insecure. Like, I think I just... And I used to say this all the time. My mom had an in-ground pool, and we would have people over all the time, barbecues. It was just, we were always in swimsuits. And I am not small. And so I'm in a swimsuit in front of these people. And someone said to me once, like, how do you, like, you don't care at all, like, to be in a swimsuit? Like, I don't know that I could come over and be in a swimsuit in front of people. And I was like, look, it's not like you look at me and you're like, oh, she's a size 2. And then I take my clothes up, put a swimsuit on, I'm magically ginormous. People know what I'm working with on the outside. No matter what I'm wearing, they don't look at me and be like, oh, I bet she has a perfectly toned tummy, 6-pack abs, and a booty that don't quit. I don't think they think that of me, right? If there's no, like, people don't look at me and be like, she must be stunning naked. And so, like, that just doesn't happen. And so I'm like, it's not a shock. People aren't shocked that they see me. I'm like, oh, your thighs touch. Congratulations. Like, no one's surprised by that. And no one cares as much as I do, right? And so when I stopped caring, I was like, that's so much easier.
Well, and I've, over the past couple of years, I've developed this, I used to be paralyzed. Like, I was like, oh, I can't go because this isn't right, this isn't right, this isn't right. And now I'm like right now, my hair is not curled. So I've got really cute curls on one side and really non-existent ones on the other side. It's all natural. It just
and
doesn't
who
feel
cares?
right. And I'm like...
And no one was looking at it.
Right.
But you.
But now you are. But I turn around and I'm like, okay. I've got this going on.
Yeah, who cares?
It's no big deal. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I don't have to look at it. It's not my problem.
I love that.
So, it's like,
I love all
whatever.
of that.
But, I mean, it is true. You know, you reach a level, and I love the way that you did that. And you're like, hey, look, this isn't a surprise.
It's no secret.
Yeah, and I never thought of things like that.
It's no secret.
Oh, they're going to see me in my little bathing suit.
No.
Yeah, they're not surprised. They saw me in my dress. They saw me with my cellulite out. Like,
exactly. They don't, and no one cares.
Nobody cares.
Like, if anything, the lesson of the story of my friend telling me she hated me, and she's 200 pounds lighter than me, because I'm in a swimsuit and she's also in a swimsuit, like, she doesn't care what I look like I care. I don't care what she looks like she cares.
But it's kind of what we talked about in the beta group tonight, you know? It's like,
yeah.
You can think all these negative things about yourself.
Yeah.
You can pick yourself apart.
Yeah.
You know all your flaws.
You know the flaws.
I know.
You live up here.
Yes.
Yes.
I created a lot of the flaws.
Yes,
just to
yes.
give something else to focus on because I didn't have enough, right? But you know, when you sit there and you focus on what you don't have and you assume that everybody else sees you the same way. Mm-hmm. There was a Dove commercial years ago. Do you remember?
Oh my gosh,
that?
I do, and it was so powerful.
I love it. Like, these women would sit there, and they were in with a sketch artist,
yes.
and they were describing these women that they had just met, and hearing what the women who were being drawn were saying about themselves was heartbreaking. And this was one of the most, like, this is probably the most powerful
yes.
commercial I had ever seen in my life, and I actually cried, because how they saw themselves was nothing like this random stranger who knew nothing about them other than this short conversation that they had had. Mm-hmm. They were describing them as beautiful and you know, wonderful. And
well, and what's crazy is the difference. Like, the stranger describing the person to the sketch artist looked way more like the person than if I describe myself to a sketch artist.
Like, you describe yourself and you come out looking like an ogre. But these other women that were describing each other, it was this beautiful,
and it looked like them,
and it was realistic, and it was very eye-opening to me.
Very true. I forgot about that commercial.
I love that commercial.
I do too.
I think everybody should watch it.
True. Well, we don't want to keep you too much longer because we promised you shorter episodes.
Yep.
So we are going to wrap it up. But I just wanted to encourage you today that if you are in a big life change or you've recently come out of a big life change, just you find yourself comparing more than you did yesterday or a year ago or whatever it is, use that as an indicator and not something to beat yourself up about. Use it as an indicator to say, okay, I need to get this back in check because obviously I am struggling again with the same topic, so I'm going to hit back again. Just go rewatch our episodes. Shameless plug. But seriously, just do the work. Go to God and give it to Him. Resurrender over and over and over again so that you can move forward and you're not stuck. No one wants to be stuck with a mindset that they're awful and everyone else is wonderful, because you cannot fully embody the call that God has on your life if you're too busy worrying about what someone else looks like or acts like or has.
Or you're trying to be them.
Amen. Amen.
All right. Well, like, comment, share, subscribe. It's all in the description.
Yes. Steph will list everything in the description for you guys. Please share this. And if it touched you at all, put it on your page. Just give us some help getting this YouTube page off the ground. If you want to support us at all, we would really appreciate it.
Yeah. Reach out to us. Our email address is in there as well. We'll have a Tedder and Weber site
coming soon.
And I say soon.
Soon-ish. Soon adjacent.
Soon,
I'm working on it.
As soon as I can breathe.
I'm done with this chair.
You need to switch chairs.
I'm switching chairs.
But yeah, so we will see you next week, Friday at 2.
Yes, Fridays at 2. Because we love you.
Yeah. Have a great week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.